The princess of the Solari Dominion had never feared anyone. She had grown up among warriors who considered fear an insult to their ancestors. From the moment she had learned to walk, she had been placed in training halls where blades hummed in the air and drills echoed across stone floors. Her name was Lyra, and the galaxy whispered that no challenger had ever survived more than a few breaths against her. She carried the pride of her people like a shield, and every enemy who tried to test her resolve found themselves defeated by her precision and strength. She believed she understood every threat in the galaxy until the day a human named Rowan arrived. He did not come with weapons drawn or armor flashing. He arrived as part of a diplomatic escort sent to the Dominion after a border conflict had nearly ignited a war. Humans were known for their adaptability and quick minds, but Lyra had always considered them unremarkable compared to the towering might of her own species. She expected Rowan to tremble in her presence. Instead, he simply bowed with a relaxed smile and met her eyes as if she were any ordinary leader. That alone unsettled her more than any battle she had fought. The Dominion planned a joint demonstration of skill to evaluate the abilities of the human visitors. Lyra entered the arena with her long training blade, expecting Rowan to decline participation. To her surprise, he stepped forward with calm confidence. The crowd murmured in disbelief, convinced the human would be defeated in the first second. Lyra allowed him to choose a simple training staff, thinking it would not matter. When the signal began the match, she charged with speed that made most challengers drop their weapons. Rowan did not flinch. He sidestepped with graceful precision, turning her momentum against her. The crowd gasped when Lyra found herself stumbling for the first time in her life. She regained her footing instantly, but the damage was done. Rowan had touched her balance, something no opponent had achieved. She circled him with narrowed eyes, testing him with quick strikes. He blocked the ones that mattered and evaded the ones he could not meet. His movements were not as fast as hers, not as powerful, yet every motion was perfectly efficient. He studied her like a puzzle, analyzing patterns and adjusting without hesitation. The match ended when Lyra miscalculated a final strike, and Rowan reached forward with the staff placed gently against her shoulder. He did not strike to hurt her. He simply demonstrated that he had outmaneuvered her. Silence filled the arena. Lyra stepped back and stared at him, her pride bruised but her admiration ignited. Rowan, breathing calmly, lowered the staff and offered a respectful nod. He spoke with the same relaxed tone he had used earlier, telling her she fought with unmatched strength. His words held no mockery. They were genuine. The crowd erupted in shock and awe. The fearless princess had met her match, and the galaxy would remember this moment. Lyra could not allow the matter to rest. She sought Rowan out the next day, demanding an explanation for his unexpected skill. He told her that humans trained differently. They relied on adaptability, rhythm, and observation rather than pure force. He grew up in a settlement where survival depended on reading an opponent before the fight even began. His world was unpredictable, and he had learned to adjust to any danger within seconds. Lyra found his perspective intriguing. She had trained all her life to dominate battles through strength and speed. Rowan showed her that intelligence in combat could be just as powerful. Days passed, and Lyra invited him to train with her. She claimed it was to study human methods, but those around her noticed the shift in her demeanor. She was no longer seeking to crush him. She wanted to understand him. Rowan accepted her requests with good humor. Their sessions stretched from morning to dusk, filled with sparring, discussions, and shared strategies. They challenged each other in ways neither had experienced before. Lyra tested Rowan's limits, and he tested her patience and precision. The bond between them grew naturally, built on respect rather than competition. The Dominion Council noticed the princess's unusual interest in the human. They considered humans too soft to be worthy allies. Yet Rowan's match with Lyra had already begun to reshape their opinions. Human adaptability had become more valuable than anyone expected. The council assigned Rowan additional responsibilities, allowing him access to areas usually restricted to outsiders. Lyra approved of the decision, though she would never admit to the council that she felt a sense of pride each time. Rowan navigated their world with surprising ease. Lyra's transformation was subtle at first. Her expression softened in Rowan's presence. Her laughter, rarely heard in the palace halls, echoed when he teased her during training. Her father, the ruler of the Dominion, observed these changes with careful thought. He had always known Lyra to stand apart from others. She was a solitary force, admired but distant. Seeing her open herself to someone was unexpected. Rowan's presence unsettled the strict structure of the court, yet he brought balance to Lyra's intensity. Conflict sparked again along the Dominion border. A faction of rogue invaders threatened to attack the capital. The council prepared for battle, and Lyra led the defense urgently. Rowan, although not a soldier in their ranks, volunteered to assist. Lyra warned him of the danger, insisting that his diplomatic status gave him no obligation to fight. Rowan refused to step aside. He stood beside her as equals. She found herself more anxious for his safety than her own, an unfamiliar emotion that only intensified as the threat approached. The battle erupted with fierce energy. Lyra cut through the enemy line with calculated speed, but she constantly checked Rowan's position. He supported the defense by coordinating communications, using his analytical mind to predict enemy movements. His strategies saved hundreds of lives. When a sudden breach opened near the palace gate, Rowan acted without hesitation, sprinting to reroute defensive barriers. Lyra saw him in danger and rushed to intervene. They fought back to back as the enemy pressed forward. She covered his blind spots while he warned her of incoming threats. The turning point came when the invaders attempted to trigger an explosive device near the heart of the capital. Rowan spotted the device and raced to reach it. Lyra followed, but she realized she would not arrive in time to shield him. Rowan dismantled the trigger moments before it activated, preventing catastrophic damage. The device surged with unstable energy, and Rowan was thrown back by the shockwave. Lyra caught him, dragging him to safety as the Dominion forces finally secured victory. Rowan recovered slowly in the medical wing. Lyra visited every day, refusing to be anywhere else. She stayed by his side, her usual composure replaced with quiet concern. When Rowan finally awakened, he found the fierce princess sitting beside him, her gaze soft yet unwavering. She tried to hide her relief, but he saw through her. He joked lightly about her worried expression, and she scolded him for risking his life so recklessly. Her voice trembled in a way he had never heard. He assured her that he would not trade his choices for anything. He had stood with her because he believed in her world, and in her dot their bond deepened after that day. Lyra no longer questioned why Rowan affected her so strongly. She accepted that humans possessed a strength different from her own, but just as powerful. Rowan admired her resilience and intelligence. Each learned to balance the other. The Dominion Council formally recognized the alliance between their species, acknowledging Rowan's contribution. The ruler of the Dominion thanked Rowan personally. Lyra stood beside Rowan during the ceremony, and the gathered crowd saw the connection that had grown between them not as peace settled once more. Lyra and Rowan continued their training and exploration of cultures. Lyra showed him the ancient halls where her ancestors had trained. Rowan taught her the games and traditions of human settlements. She learned to appreciate the subtlety of human humor and the warmth of human companionship. Rowan, in turn, gained a deeper understanding of Dominion honor and discipline. Their worlds blended naturally, forming a connection that strengthened both. The galaxy watched with interest as the fearless princess stood beside the human who had reshaped her life. She no longer viewed humans as fragile or insignificant. Rowan had proven that courage could exist without towering strength, and that wisdom could triumph where force failed. He had turned her world upside down, revealing perspectives she would never have discovered alone. Lyra grew not weaker, but stronger through their bond. She faced challenges with renewed purpose, seeing the galaxy as a place where differences could become strengths. One evening, under the glowing lights of the Dominion's twin moons, Lyra and Rowan stood on a high balcony overlooking the capital. The air shimmered with soft golden light. Lyra spoke quietly about her future duties and the weight of leadership she would soon inherit. Rowan listened with patience, reminding her that she did not need to carry that weight alone. For the first time, she allowed herself to admit that she trusted someone completely. The admission did not feel like a weakness. It felt like freedom. Rowan's presence became a constant part of her life. Their partnership was not built on romance alone, but on shared respect and unwavering loyalty. They challenged each other, supported each other, and together shaped a new path for their peoples. The princess who had feared no opponent learned that strength was not measured by who could win a battle, but